Sorry. So this is still not working for some reason. All right, let's see what have we done here. Anyone back? Yeah, I think I have somebody. Hey, Silvio. Start stream yet. Sorry. Think we're good now. Okay, so now let's see why it's not trying to boot, because I tried it and I get nothing. So here we have like 4.1, so we have main. Bemo bere. No bere, man. No bere. So let's see here. I have nothing. 1.7. Okay, so maybe that's the power one. This is the power button. Yeah, that's the power button. Good. So we're fine. Let's put the screen. Okay. Let's power on the supply. Good. Nico is back. Nico is back. And we power on the phone. Yeah. Those my tweezers. The good thing is that now we have both cameras, so we can see here the phone booting. Boot current, yes, we can drink a beer. Yeah, and we have the phone started. So now comes the crap part. So this was the repair. This was the repair, and now welcome to the phone world. We need to solder these boards together. So these boards look like this, right? And we have about 1000 pads around that we need to solder them back together. We cannot use this solder because it's not leaded, extremely high temperature. It's not gonna solder back. So now we're gonna have first to clean this. Let's move to the microscope. We're gonna have to clean all this, then wick it, do the same here, clean, wick, then we have to reball and solder the boards back. Yeah, there's still some crap here. So welcome to the beautiful side of repairing phones. Yeah, I need to power on the soldering stations. to replace this tip, I need a hefty one. Yeah, so now comes the part that is going to really make me stop repairing phones. Yeah, so I'm gonna put the iron on 240 degrees. 240, this is not the correct tip. Ah, fuck, I burned my finger. So I'm gonna take the knife tip, and I'm gonna use this, you see, the X grade rosin, and I'm just gonna put rosin here. I don't know if I should film this, what I do, because everyone does it different. Do I give away secrets? Maybe. Maybe not. Is JFix back or we lost him? He said, fuck it. I'm not gonna watch this crap anymore. Okay, and probably now I'm gonna lose all my followers. The only one that will remain will be Nico, which can feel my pain and will enjoy a beer laughing at me. Good. I'm gonna do the same on the bottom board, on the interposer. Yeah, well, Silvio, you know, I'm not a huge fan of this tip, to be honest. The knife ones. I really prefer the conicals or bent conicals. But for this application is the only one that can cope with the demand. So I'm just putting rosin. 99% of the people use flux. I don't use flux because I like better the rosin. It cleans better and also it wicks better. It feels like the board is like lubricated somehow. Good. Now we have rosin everywhere. I'm gonna go back to 380 on this tip. 380, right? And now I'm gonna take paste. Yeah, it is better, yes, in thermal efficiency. But where I can, I prefer to use the 245. Right? This is a small knife. It's not the largest one. It's the small knife tip. There's two sizes, I think. But here on the phones, there's really no other option because they are incredibly small. There's a pad there. Good, I broke it. I think I shorted something there, maybe not. I don't know. So I'm doing 148 now here. 148, and I'm gonna replace again the solder on the tip. to have some fresh one. Good, so we're done with this part. We take the bottom board and do the same, try to replace that factory solder to mix it up with the 148. I hope you see. Good. 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 I think I've been here already, right? Yeah, I think I have. Good. So now I'm gonna take the big boy, the 245, but I need to prepare some pieces of 8. How do you call it? Pieces of Alzheimer kicks in. Braid, the thing that we wick with. Wick, maybe call it wick. Okay, so I think you can see this way. And with the big tip that I need to give it more beans. Okay. We're gonna wick this. It's a bit difficult to have you see everything. It is indeed difficult. Okay, maybe like this. I didn't put the board on a holder so I can move it easier so you can see it. And now it's a bit dancing here, but that's okay. And let's do this side. Good. Now like this. Good. Good. And done. For the large sizes, the old school 900M tips from ancient Gordak. I don't know how those are, 900M. To be honest, I'm a bit new in the business. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay, now we're gonna have to treat that with hot air. So let me get a nozzle for this one. Let's get a nozzle. Let's get a nozzle. And some of this. Big and ugly. I'm using 350 here. 350. So with 350 in theory the chips should not desolder. And this low meltish thing should come out first. As you can see, I need to rotate this. Good, I have a pad there. A spacer, I need to remove it. Okay, it's done. So let's get that spacer out of there before we forget about it. It's going to cause some sort of a short. Good, now I'm gonna, let me switch to the top camera. So I have the board here. I'm gonna cool it off a bit. And once it's a bit cooler, I'm gonna put it into an IPA box so it dissolves everything. So I use this, but not this one. Where's my boards one? Here. I have this one. Casserole. Right, and I'm gonna leave it there to soak. Good. And now we're gonna wick the bottom board. Good. Go back under the microscope. And do it again. This should go a bit faster. Good. Need to turn this around because there are spacers that will remain, will stick to this wick. And I don't want them to fall back on the pads or fall inside the board. See here, I have another spacer. I need to remove. Good. Let me get another piece of wick. Good. Okay. Good, so now this is done too. Move the microscope a bit away. And let's clean the boards. Yeah, I'm taking that board. I'll go there. And a brush. And I'm gonna brush it good. Here in IPA. I wanna be factory and also remove that gunk, that thermal thingy that it has, that you saw that I've removed initially when we split the boards. When I've split the boards. Okay, this is good. You can take this away, put this other one. Get the toilet paper. And clean it better. IRC, what you saying there about IRC? Actually, yesterday I was thinking if IRC still exists. Well, not yesterday, so last night I went to sleep around midnight, right? And I woke up like it was 2:30, exactly 2:30. I was looking at the phone, 2:30 a.m. and I really couldn't sleep, so I just stayed in bed. Last time I watched, I was looking at the phone to see what time it was. It was 4:34 a.m. So in that period, I was thinking of but a lot of things. Among ones would be the IRC. If I recall correctly, I thought you're speaking about the IRC protocol. Good. I'm an idiot. Don't worry. You're gonna get used with me. Yeah, the internet relay chat. So now we have the white fingers from the alcohol, from IPA, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. So let me put this aside. Let's put the brush aside. Let's fire up the microscope and see what we have done. Look at that. So, what can you say? It's factory. factory. Look at that. How can't you love this? Well, actually, you start to hate it because this work is killing me, to be honest. So now what we need to do is to revolve the boards if we can ever find the 13 stencil. Yeah. I can't drink alcohol because I get massive headaches, so I'm better off without it. I'm sorry. I am sorry, it's just not worth it for me. And I feel so sick after it that it's really not worth it. Good, so we have the 13 Pro stencil, but this is Pro Max. I need a Pro Max stencil. So this is the 13 Pro Max. Okay, and we need to align it a bit under the microscope. We can make some light. When it's difficult to do that looking at the screen, yeah, I can't do it like this. So, get the microscope here. What the fuck just happened? Something is not right. To put this back like this. Yeah, I think there's something broken here with my stencil because this doesn't stay in place, so I'm gonna have a bit of a problem. Hey James, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, I was back some time ago. Luckily, it's all fixed now. I'm sorry for this, but I should have looked before starting the stream if everything was okay, which I didn't, and that's life. So now I'm gonna use paste, this scrap from Tool. This is also 148, but this is a bit too moist to apply it directly, like, well, I don't know if it's moist anymore. I haven't used it for a while and it doesn't seem that moist. Let's see, how does it look? It is a bit moist, but I'm gonna add it like this. I'm gonna regret it, make a fool of myself during a live, but that's the spirit of the live. To make a fool of yourself. Yeah, I might seem weird, yes. But that's life. That's my body. To be honest, being an alcoholic was and still is national sport in my family. So everybody were alcoholics. My father, my mother, my sisters, my brother. No, I don't have sisters and brothers, but everyone, my grandparents, but alcoholic, like alcoholic. I have the genes, so I was drinking a lot when I was in my 20s. But after that, I started feeling really bad, like physically after drinking, and my body just couldn't cope with it. So probably my gene was suppressed by by this, which I'm not sorry about. To be honest, I see no gain in drinking, really. But unfortunately I smoke a lot, so I smoke since 28 years ago, and I still smoke. You can't see nothing? Why don't you say anything? That you can't see nothing. So I just applied that paste, and now I'm rubbing it with a clean cloth because it was a bit too wet. Yeah, and if it's too wet, it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna fuck up my thing. And now I'm gonna remove the stencil, and hopefully my balls will remain there. Yeah, so you see, what a mess, what a fucking hell, bitch. So, because it was too wet, it's now touching everything like this. This is fine, so this side is fine, this side is not. Well, we're gonna have to repair it, but until then, I need to clean the stencils. So I need to buy new stencils. These are old ones, and I think they are a bit used. And I find the ones from Amaoe, something like that. I find those a lot better. And those you can get different thicknesses. So you can get 0.9, 0.10, 0.11, 0.12, 0.012. Yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna switch to those because these just don't do us justice at all. Good, I'm done with that. This board we can remove from here. Which paste I recommend? So the best paste I worked with was the mechanic one. So this mechanic is good. All of them, 148, 183, 220. This tool one is not bad, but the problem is that it dries up. It dries up inside, so it's not consistent because usually when you use a paste, so I used the mechanic one for years, but I ran out of 148 and I bought this. Mechanic is always consistent. So I have no matter if it's winter or summer, if it's hot or cold, it's the same consistent. This crap, it's not. So for this one, it's like every time I reball something, it's a different experience. Good, so let's try to fix whatever we broke. Well, not broke, but whatever messed up here. Microscope. And I think Nico, the one that you see here from Repero, he got the same experience with this tool paste. As far as I remember, we spoke. Yeah, and now I'm using 350, sorry. 350. You see how wet is it? Because it's actually the flux is melting and it's pouring out of it. So here we're gonna have bridges. Yeah, very nasty ones. But we're gonna fix them. . Also, this will produce inconsistent voltage. Good. So now we have everything revolved. And now we need to fix all the crack bridges that we created. So let's start with this. I need let me try. Maybe this tip would be good. Let's see if this works. YCS is good. I've never tried the YCS. I think Nico bought something from them. Nico, or was it Flux you bought from YCS? This is dirty. Good, so let's see if we can fix them with this tip. Some are grounds and are a bit more difficult to handle. And this is, it doesn't look like it, but it's quite a fine tip. Although it's a 245. So I need a tiny bit of paste. So these balls here are too big and some are too small. But that's life, right? Everywhere. We have big balls, we have small balls. You didn't try the paste? Which paste do you get? Did you get the 150, 140 or 183? See here it has trouble grabbing it. I think that's a ground, but still I'm gonna add some more. Okay, 138. When will you stop buying 138? Jesus Christ. That's the crappiest thing ever. I would never use it. I think I have mechanic 138 left a lot. If you want, I'm gonna send them to you. Okay, so I don't have enough power here. Good. Good, I think those are good. And here it's a huge mess. Here I think I'm gonna handle this differently. I'm gonna remove the mess like this. And then fix them all. These are all grounds here. Typical for conical tips, yes, Silvio, but and this is a 245, remember? If I would have used the 210, nothing. But these are so small, and this is the smallest conical tip ever. These are so small that I can't use anything else, especially when I need to recreate some bolage there. This really doesn't want to work with me. So this tip is not flowing the way I want it to flow. Yeah, I get a solder and all the solder comes back. Fuck it. I have a broken C210 tip. Let me try with that one. So this was conical, but I broke the tip and now the solder stays there in place, you know? Yeah, this is a bit better. Only that when I put it back in the holder, it doesn't go to sleep with this tip. There's something wrong with it. I need to clean it because it was all burn flux and I couldn't see anything. So let me get some paste like that maybe. Yeah, just too much on my tip. I don't know, I think we're good. These are grounds and I don't really care about. And I think the others are fine. Yeah, I still have a bridge here. We're good. Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, and then, well, 10 minutes job, but tell them, Nico, what's gonna happen now, because I'm gonna try uh, to solder the bores back, and of course it's not gonna work, or we're gonna have shorts, or we have to redo this. This is crazy. I forgot to take this off when I desolder the boards. Crazy. Okay, so now something I don't typically do, but this time I will do. I'm gonna clean the interposer of this old flux because I want to see the balls if they are all fine. Yeah, I'm using my stencils are extremely old, and actually I do have a Maui for 15, 14, 15, 16 series, and they are a lot better. I agree. Yeah, they are way a lot better. But again, they are a bit newer than these ones. And as I said, you can actually get from Amawe different widths, thickness. How do you call it? Where is it? So, see, so this is the Amawe stencils. This is for 15 series and 16 series, and they are 0.12 millimeters. I can't focus there. Yeah, I have the stencils and for also for the 16. This is extremely good. So when I'm gonna make the next order, I will also replace my old ones with this Amaue thing, because with this one you just lose time. I don't say it never works, because about 70% of the time it works for me. It's now only now that I have to do a live stream and I get this crap. Misfortune. But that's okay. What I don't like is the inconsistency of the balls. Yeah, but I think we're good. I'm not sure we care what's about here. I don't like this corner here. We have some big balls, some small ones. We have some hair. Look here. So, what is this? About VCC. About VCC. But VCC is right here. Does it go somewhere or just on the back? Just on the back, right? So we don't care about it. Good. The screw on the boards. Yeah. Well, to be honest, it's extremely rarely I forget about that. Because I usually take it off when the board is still in the phone. Okay, I'm gonna hit the board up. I'm using like 350 and just go around the interposer. So I'm hitting it because I want to put some flux on it. Yeah, and I have the board sitting on the tissue, so it doesn't conduct the heat too fast into the pad on the microscope stand, so I can keep the board a bit warm till I finish with this fluxing thing. Good. And now I'm gonna take back the heater and I'm gonna try to put it here under the microscope, because I'm gonna put all the boards one on top of the other, and I just want to see it briefly if it's aligned properly. Now it's not a big problem because we have balls only on the interposer, not on the top board. But if we have to remove it and put it back again when there's balls on both of them, then it's gonna be a bit difficult. Okay, so I think I'm gonna set it to 200. Yeah, and leave it running. I usually keep it under the microscope and I'm checking if it moves at some point, but now if I'm recording, I won't do that. So what's gonna happen with my stream? I'm gonna have 3 lives now, or how does it look? Or it's just gonna be the last one? Let me look here. Because it interrupted 3 times. So if I go to YouTube Studio, content, live. Oh boy, there's 3 ones. Ah, what a crap. 3 lives, yeah. Sorry for that. I lost my audience. I'm not recording. Should I record? How do people do this? So I can also push start streaming and start recording and it's gonna do both? I don't know how this works. Ah, so you always record? Oh, never tried it. Never tried that. Okay, so I'm looking at the board from all the sides. I'm mostly interested to see if it well, goes well. So let me try to see if we can see something under the microscope, because it seems that it has seated. Yeah, I'm moving my camera. Okay, so this is on the top. Can I? Yeah, you can see it's dancing. Good. That's what we want. I'm gonna turn it off. Good, and now it's a bit risky, but to speed up the process, I'm removing it like this. Good. It's lucky I have a... How do you call those fume extractors? I'm kidding, I don't have one. I like the fumes. You can also record separate audio tracks at the same time if you play music on your... Oh, okay, I understand. I think we're overcomplicating things. So many cameras and all that crap. I like how Andy is doing it, like he doesn't even care. He's just pressing stream and that's it. Don't care about image quality and so on. What's the time? 8:36. So if I wasn't filming, I think I would have smoked 3 cigarettes by now. I'm just wiping the flux away. So from the table, and now the moment of truth. Let's see. Do we have a short? Where is the freaking 13? There it is. Do we have a short or not? Yay, we don't have a short. If I prompt it to boot, I don't know if I can like this because I'm blind. Yeah, it's okay. Good. Let me take a screen. Okay, and let's see if I can prompt it to boot now with the screen cable here. And me again blind as a bat. No? Maybe? Please? Please? No? Oh, god damn it. Hope I'm not gonna break the connector. I usually do this under the microscope. Yes. Yes. Good. We have an Apple logo. There wasn't any picture on it, right? I remember there was like a weird thingy. A real tobacco, Silvio. I'm smoking since I was 16, so it's like almost 30 years ago. What? So they either gave me the wrong code or we have a problem. I don't think this is the correct code. So I was interested to see if we have a modern firmware, right? But I can't do it like that. So I hope. I think this looks good. So in theory, if you have an NFC problem, it will not recognize the code, but not like this. I need to remove this sticker because it was a bit bent from the heat. But not like that. I don't think they gave us the correct code. So when you have an NFC issue, it should like block somehow at the last digit. I didn't have that issue for a while. I'm not even sure if on this newer iOS is the same. But as I said, it can happen. So I'm gonna connect everything. And I'm simply gonna put a SIM card in it. And see if it picks up some service. If it does, then I'm fine with it. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to reopen it and investigate what went wrong. So this is the crap with the phones. Okay, I assume there's no more battery because of that short, but we'll never know. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we might get lucky. Yeah, we have an Apple logo, so it's gonna start. I'm watching here if we get any kind of a service, but it doesn't look good so far. Yeah, no bueno. No bueno. And it also doesn't show the no SIM. I remove it. Yeah, this shows keep searching. So something didn't go well with my reball. And unfortunately not having the code. No, the code is not good. I have no service. Yeah, sucks to be me. Tell me about it. Okay, so this is it, baby. This is it. It can't be always a win. Yeah, let's have a look under the microscope and see how the boards are stuck together. Yeah, it's difficult without a passcode because I can't even see if there's a modem firmware, so soldering job looks really good. Can't really blame it for nothing. See, there's no cracks here. Nothing. It's It's weird. How is the 13 series model? Do we have where are the NFCs? Yeah, so one is on the bottom. Fuck. And one I think it's here. Yeah. The P and the Fury is back here on the bottom board. I don't know what could be the issue. Let me try something. So I'm curious of something. Let me see if I can fire up the baseband PMU. If I can force it to start. If it starts, then I know there's no shorts there. So baseband PMU, I need to find the enable pin. Let me show you also what I'm looking at. Okay, this one I need. Sequence PMU to baseband PMU resellout. So how the phone works? So the phone has a main CPO, which is this one here, and it has a main PMIC here, and this PMIC is powered on by the main line, which is this one. The main line is produced by this chip, basically, from the battery. So the battery comes into this chip here, and it's going out and is creating the VDD main. VDD main powers, in theory, most of the phone, most of the big lines, right? Most of the big chips. I don't know how to say it. This main PMIC basically powers on mostly the CPU, so the CPU gets all the lines it needs from the PMIC. Then this is the radio board. So radio board, we have the baseband CPU, which is this one. So this is a different CPU. This is how Apple likes to do things. CPUs and CPUs like you have on MacBooks, you have the Intel CPU, then you have the T2, which is basically an iPhone XR CPU, and so on. So this baseband CPU is basically a CPU by itself, and that one has its own memory, RAM, and everything. It even has a small EEPROM where it gets some data from. But this is part of the radio board, right? The baseband CPU, everything is digital here and it communicates with the CPU. Then you have the amplifier side, which are like these chips here. There are more chips here that are basically analog, and this is the SDR, that is basically an interface between the digital and analog part, right? And now we have the baseband PMU, which is like the PMIC for the CPU, is this PMU basic powering the baseband CPU. And we can enable this to start because you see it gets power from the VDD main line, which is selected already, that you can see with red. So if I keep a VDD mainline powered on and I go here to the baseband PMU reset low, and I'm gonna apply 1.2 volts here, I should have like 0.30 milliamps, 0.30 amps power consumption overall on the board. And then I know that that's gonna start the baseband PMU, which produces a lot of LDO voltages. So you see how many LDOs are here: 1, 0, 12, 15, and also a lot of SMPS voltages that are powering on the baseband CPU. The baseband CPU, of course, will not boot, will not start, but I'm interested if this power part will take place, because it's gonna consume some power, right? So now I have the power supply here connected to the board, right? And you can see it, the second one on the top, right? I power it on and we don't see any sort of power consumption because the phone is off right now. So let me find where that baseband PMU enable pin is. And I think it is, let me see how it's disoriented, like this. So it should be the second one. First is ground, then it's main, then we have a second one there. Let me get my Dremel. Yeah, so that's what I'm interested in. So in theory now, if I come with 1.2 volts there, power on, okay. I'm gonna power on the third supply you see on the top. So from left to right, it's gonna be the third one, 1.2, power on, power off. There's something wrong. Why don't we see it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Technical stuff. Okay, now we see it, right? I'm powering on. We have 1.2 volts there. So with this supply, I'm gonna connect the ground to the same board, right? And I'm gonna come with this pad here. So in theory now, when I touch this one and bring it up, we should see on the second supply a consumption of 0.3, 0.4. Yeah, see? So we have 0.3, 38 milliamps basically. It's what the baseband PMU and some of the baseband CPU consumes. Yeah, so this test tells me that the baseband CPU is okay and the baseband PMU part is fine, right? Still, we don't know why we don't have any service, right? That's our problem now. So the no service part can come if the baseband CPU is not working. And in that case, if that baseband CPU is not working, we should see under general settings, where's my phone? Okay, so if I go here on my phone, where's the freaking settings? If I go to general about, right, and I go a bit down, we can see here we have modern firmware. If we have modern firmware here, it means that our baseband CPU is working. Now, if the baseband CPU is not working, modern firmware would be absent, and of course we would have no service. But if we have modern firmware and still have no service, it means that the problem is somewhere on the amplifier side. So on the amplifier side, we need basically to investigate the amplifier chips and everything that connects between the boards. It can also be a connection between the CPU and the baseband CPU. But now it's already late. It's 9 p.m. I'm gonna stop now and I'm gonna open this board, I don't know, sometime. Because it's the New Year's Eve tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna be able to work. Yeah, but this is the. I just wanted to show you the shit of repairing phones and what's happening when things go south. Well, they usually go south. It's not always a win, uh, but you also have a bit of winnings. Hello Raresh, hello. So I don't even have, I don't think the code, the passcode they give me is good, because if there will be a problem with the NFC, then when you enter the last digit, it should freeze the phone and then reboot, right? But it's not. But then again, I don't know. So that remains to be seen. This is what I have done till now, and will continue working on it. I'm not gonna record it because it makes no sense. It's again doing the same shit. Yeah, James, you should avoid. I started this hobby about 3 years ago, and I wanted to start doing repairs, but it was very difficult. I would have preferred laptops and MacBooks, but it was a bit difficult because there are some people around that repair those. But for phone repairs, for example, we live in a city like 350,000 people, maybe more. I think will about 400 now, 400,000 people. I think in this city, besides me, there's another two guys, or one or two. I'm not sure if there's two, but one definitely is that repairs phone boards, only board phone repairs. The rest, there are like 60 shops, phone repair shops that only uh, change screens, batteries, cases, and so on. So I thought, okay, let's start. I didn't know anything about the phones. I said, okay, if I'm gonna do some repairs, this is what I have the most opportunities to get repairs, you know, from different services. So I just went to a phone repair service and I said, okay, I would like to try to repair a phone for you if you have. And they gave me an iPhone 7 with audio issues. It was back in that time, 3-4 years ago. They were still a thing. So I repaired one, I repaired two, then I met a guy that was actually buying bad phones, like cracked, and he was like refurbishing them. So he was giving me the boards, and let me tell you, the broken boards are the most difficult ones to work with. And I learned from there, and now I'm trying to get rid of it because I'm fucking sick of doing this thing. You saw it was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to actually do the repair, and then it takes ages to put the boards back and to have luck to have everything working. Yeah, okay. So this is what I kind of wanted to show you today. I'm sorry for the start, for the issues I had. And I don't know, maybe see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. How much money I made with, yeah. Nico is always bragging that he bought an apartment repairing audio ICs on iPhone 7. So indeed, the iPhone 7 series were a very, very long living series. So even when I started repairs like 3 years ago, probably, there were still coming in for repairs, iPhone 7s, and now we're at 17, and I haven't heard lately of anything below 13, 12. Even 12 I don't really see nowadays. Okay, so thank you for watching. Have a nice evening. La mulți ani. Happy New Year's. See you next year, I think. Bye.